rule implemented in a command and control world government system in which the elite rule the masses with total control of their lives.
This is, of course, a terrible predicament for those of us who are convinced that this system is slowly but surely destroying this country and has to be changed. But we can't count on the elected presidents to do it, and we can't count on the elected Congress to do it. We somehow have to mobilize the technological resources of the internet to create some kind of new political force in this country.
So is there anything else about the ruling class we should know? Politicians, business leaders, and media figures are often portrayed as pillars of morality while they describe themselves as Christian conservatives. Nothing could be further from the truth. In reality, many of the elite are groomed at a young age to take part in occult rituals. Those who attend Yale are indoctrinated into the Order of Skull and Bones, an elite secret society cloaked as a fraternal order.
Yale University is 300 years old this year, and were you to visit its campus, you would see that it still has exotic clubhouses, which look like tombs where Yale's legendary secret societies meet. Their prestige and importance have largely evaporated, but the rituals are still a secret. And so when we heard that some enterprising characters had managed to spy on the famous Skull and Bones Society, we couldn't resist.
Skull and Bones, people say it's a fraternity at Yale University, but it's really a postgraduate organization. So it was founded in 1832, and it's not like a normal fraternity. People don't pledge. These people choose who they want to come. So they do the recruiting. They recruit 15 people every year, people who they see are going to be powerful people in the future. So they're recruited when they're a junior in college. A lot of these people come from really wealthy and influential families because they know that this person has the resources to then elevate them to a position of power that can benefit the club.
The video shows the neophytes, or initiates, kissing a skull, then performing a mock human sacrifice. Horrific screams caught on tape include chants of, "The devil equals death, death equals the devil."
True. Famous alums include Senators John Kerry and John Chafee, to name two, cabinet secretaries such as Averell Harriman, and three presidents, William Taft, George Bush, and George W. Bush, who's been reluctant to talk about Skull and Bones.
Does it still exist? The thing is so secret that I'm not even sure it still exists.
No doubt hearing about all the differences between John Kerry and George W. Bush. But we've discovered they do have something in common. During their respective college days at Yale, they both belonged to a group called Skull and Bones.
Does it still exist? The thing is so secret that I'm not even sure it still exists.
Former Skull and Bones members and current members have been presidents, heads of the CIA, senators, heads of business. I mean, huge, huge corporations. These people have the network that brings them to such a position of power that most people could only dream of.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us? Not much, because it's a secret. Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code? I wish there were something secret I could manifest. 322, a secret number? There are all kinds of secrets, Tim.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
Now we have these obvious issues, do we not? Do we not have these issues now? We know Skull and Bones. We know that Kerry has been moving the New World Order closer. It's right before our eyes. Look to the past to see the future. And it's not bright. But we can, you know, find our own path to illumination, to the light of goodness and God. I mean, you know, I'm not a religious fanatic. In fact, all religions are corrupted and evil and have been corrupted, but there's only your salvation through your own faith and my own personal faith. So it's not this whole political correctness about religion is crazy. I mean, with the exception of a religion that would want to or allows there to be murder and stonings and all sorts of horrible things that could happen, I think all religions are basically based upon good foundations. And I think that an absence of religion or the absence of principles of religion, I think, is a detriment to society, because while the religious hierarchy or the religious order, for lack of a better word, the churches and the temples and whatever else, have all been infiltrated and corrupted by these Luciferian Illuminati New World Order bunch working for the one world government, one world religion. The principles of the religions themselves are important. Now, Eastern philosophy is looked at as part of the satanic code by Christians and in the Judeo-Christian philosophy. But the same thing with Judaism. Many aspects of the Kabbalah come out of Judaism, and so there's evil in everything. And remember, Jesus was a Jew. Everyone keeps forgetting that Jesus was a Jew. And we're losing the sight of the fact that there is good and there is evil. And pure goodness is compassion for one another and being left alone, being not harmed. That's good. Anything else is evil. Anything else is evil. Oppression, whether it be financial or physical, is no different. So to say that America is not under tyranny when you have 100 million people on some sort of social welfare, and you have what they call 4.5% unemployment now all of a sudden, or 5% unemployment, but yet we have 100 million people on welfare. I don't see how that works out. Do you? Things are really bad. They're much worse, and they're going to get much worse. And they're going to keep trying to make it as rosy as they can, as we, have more terrorist attacks and other heinous things. But we have to understand where we are to fight this issue. We need to know where we stand. And where we stand right now is a nation divided, as it's not been divided since the Civil War. Divided by an administration and a media that keeps us divided. By race, by class, by everything you can imagine. By football team. It's not funny, though. I mean, really, if we can understand that that's how we're being deceived and divided, is that our rights are being taken away as individual humans. Who doesn't want everyone in the world to be taken care of and all of that? Of course, but it's lunacy. And to not be fiscally sound would mean, like, if you personally couldn't afford to do something, you wouldn't do it. It doesn't mean that our nation can afford to do all these wonderful, joyous-looking things when they're really not. The devil is in the details right here. I mean, especially with this refugee crisis. But this isn't really about politics, ladies and gentlemen. It's about freedom. It's about liberty. It's about stopping tyranny and stopping despotism and stopping genocide. Because we are under genocide. Millions of Christians are being slaughtered. No one says anything. They don't want to call Islamic terrorism terrorism. Madness ensues in this country. Insane madness from the media that cannot understand reality. And the secret societies and all of these agencies, the CIA, the Mossad, they're all putting this together. They're all funding this opposition group against this one because these people hate those people, and we can use them so that if they do this, people won't pay attention to this, and we can then do this, and they won't even know that we snuck this bill in at 3:30 in the morning because there's so much chaos going on. That's what they're doing. They create chaos and they make change. Order out of chaos. Welcome to the New World Order. It's not new and it's not order. And the path to illumination It's going to take some time. There's going to be one more video after this one, and before we come to the conclusion. But please, check out howardneiman.com. I got a tremendous amount of information. You really do have to take your own time and initiative to research this information, which I give a lot of it, and a lot of links to books, and oh God, so much stuff. Please take it out, check it out, and subscribe here on Truth Talk News. All right, back to the path to illumination. A couple of more little clips I'd like to play for you. Here's one right now.
Come pretty close. She was part of a team that successfully recorded part of the initiation ceremony that takes place in the tomb's courtyard.
Okay, you have the doorway here.
Yeah.
Okay, then to the right you have a hedge, and then you have an evergreen tree. If you follow that line straight back, courtyard's in there.
Ah, okay.
So
that's where they have the ceremonies in
the outdoor part of it. Part of it was indoors, so we only got to see the outdoor part.
Right.
We only got to, and to listen to the outdoor part. God only knows what went on indoors.
And what did you hear? What was it you know? You managed to get this unique
it was
access
disgusting. It was gross. I mean, they were pretending to murder people. And
what was the tone of it, though? Was it jokey, or was it quite...
No, it wasn't jokey at all. It was sick. It's about the only thing to describe it. It was sick.
What you're hearing is the first recording ever made of the Skull and Bones initiation ceremony. It has never been broadcast before. 15 new members of the club are being introduced into the macabre rituals of Skull and Bones by the senior students who are about to graduate. The club has what some might see as a strange fascination with death, skulls and bones. There's the chants too, difficult to hear first of all, but including the devil equals death, and death equals death.
This is an elaborate, occult, ritualistic entry into this group that they are now a member of for life.
This culture of death and the occult continues long after college. Later on in life, these pagan rituals carry on in the redwoods of Sonoma, California.
And what is the Bohemian Grove? Well, it's a kind of summer camp for the powerful, an all-male gathering in great secrecy.
This group was formed in the late 1800s by artists, industrialists, and politicians. Bohemian attendees worship the owl as their deity. The Aztecs, Mayans, and other natives of Mesoamerica considered the owl a symbol of destruction and death. This is why the opening ritual for the club is the cremation of care. During the ritual, the effigy of a baby is rowed across the water by the Grim Reaper and given to a high priest, who then tosses it on a fiery sacrificial altar of a 40-foot owl god. It is an earth-based ritual in which care is burned away. The conscience is symbolically cast aside so that they may ignore the pain they have inflicted on others for the advancement of their own agendas.
With this ceremony called the cremation of care, that begins the two-week encampment where the body of dull care, symbolizing woes and concerns, is burned on an altar in front of a big owl statue. When that ceremony ends, they all start to cheer and yell.
Now a question. What have Herbert Hoover, Art Linkletter, Jack London, and Richard Nixon all had in common? Well, they've all been members of the exclusive all-male Bohemian Club in California, where every year at this time the elite from around the country get together for 2.5 weeks of fun and games.
Among its members are businessmen like Leonard Firestone and Edgar Kaiser, and political figures like Gerald Ford, Henry Kissinger, William French Smith, and George Shultz. President Reagan, Vice President Bush, and Defense Secretary Weinberger are members of other camps. Richard Nixon is a Bohemian, and so are high-ranking...
And today, the same thing, high-ranking executives at all the major corporations. Same thing with the Bilderberg Group. This is the New World Order. It's not new and it's not order. And we're going to be moving along just again Check out howardema.com and Truth Talk News on YouTube. Please subscribe and share this broadcast with everyone you know.